Hello, everybody. Welcome to Momo Nomo, the home of the happy apostate. I'm here with my co-host, Gene Judson from Latter Daily Digest, and we are honored and excited to have a guest that I've been waiting to come on. Her name is Bug Brockway, and I'm sure you've seen her on Facebook. She's got a heavy presence there. Bug, welcome to the show, and thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Now, many of you didn't know, we've got a picture of Bug here. She actually looks like a white circle with a little person in it. That's Bug. But we're so grateful. We always strive to get the best and most exciting guests, as you know. And if you are watching this and you're loving it, remember to hit that like button and subscribe and share this, because Bug's got some very interesting ideas that I can't wait to hear about. So first of all, Bug, tell me about your name. Why Bug?
Well, it's just been a nickname my entire life. Mostly because I've been short and small my entire life. And so everybody just called me a little bug. And it's stuck throughout my professional career. So, I've always I've gone by a few pen names through my career. And then also I used to dance professionally, and everybody called me the little bug, or Käferlein is what they called me in Europe. So, yeah.
That's really cute. I've been short my whole life, and everyone just calls me dumbass. So,
okay, well, that works. Whatever sticks.
I knew that you're a dancer. Looking at your Facebook profile, you've got a lot of incredible dance footage on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured. Mr. Gene, what were you going to say?
So I was just going to say, if we get Bug your first early years, like 5 minutes of up through high school of your life, what it was like to be Bug.
Okay, well, I was born in the Covenant, so I was raised Mormon, of course. My parents both converted in Berlin, Germany. So we're all immigrants. My entire family are immigrants to this country. Yep, none of us were born here. So we're all those dirty immigrants. Oh my. But yeah, so they converted in Germany. When I came to the United States, I was, 1985. So, a long time ago still. I'm in my 40s, obviously, now. When I grew up, we didn't really go to school. We did the Skousen method at home. You know what I mean? Like, we were pretty hardcore. Yeah. Like, really hardcore. Right. Very religious family.
So do you remember Germany as a young person?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. I was born in 82, so we came to the United States in 85. So, you know what I mean? I don't. Yeah, so I was pretty young. So English is so, huh?
Were you in Utah?
No, we went to Council Bluffs, Iowa at first. And then I went to Utah a little bit later when I was more of a teenager. I went to study ballet and music. And then I went to Chicago just to dance professionally with the Joffrey Ballet. And yeah, when I was 12, I went there. They hired me for a few soloist roles, so I went there by myself.
So and how then, do you go from a schoolgirl to moving to study dance?
Yeah, which was, in my mother's opinion, probably like the closest thing that I could have done to being the whore of Satan was to dance.
So she wasn't supporting you?
Not at all. No.
What is your first dance experience? That's what I'm curious. How did you start it? And
oh, well, I started it mostly just like dancing in my kitchen and stuff like that. And then one of my best friend's mothers, she saw that I was really talented, and so she insisted that I start dance lessons. And so she took me to dance lessons.
Oh,
Did I understand you to say that when you were 12,
Yes,
you went by yourself
to Chicago.
to
Yeah.
to Chicago?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
They
Um,
have programs for kids who get into companies for
so it's
that.
almost like military school, but it's dance
Only
school.
ballet school. Yeah.
Ballet. But probably
Well, it's
was
wow.
art. It's
regimented.
art school. It's art school. They do that. They have art schools in like New York. I know South Carolina has one. There's South Carolina School of the Arts has one. Chicago has one. I think Aspen has one in Colorado.
But
Um,
those cost money, right?
they do, but you can get scholarships.
And that's what you got.
Yeah,
That way, your mom didn't have to pay for you to become a whore
yeah.
dancer.
She would never pay for me to be a whore. Yeah, but
So
yeah.
did your parents start eventually supporting you in your
No, they
career,
started
your
the
path?
disowning process pretty early with me.
Wow.
Oh, no
But
kidding.
they did one thing because I started looking for colleges pretty early when I was like 16 or whatever. And so they did one thing, and they did insist that I go to BYU
Okay.
in Provo.
Oh,
And I got into BYU in Provo when I was 16. I was accepted. And I
at
didn't
16.
yeah, yep.
Oh
Before,
my
so I never
goodness.
graduated high school at all. I never went to high school.
Wow.
Yep, but
That's
I got in.
incredible.
Yep, I got in on a music scholarship mostly, and so anyway, so I got to BYU when I was pretty young. Um, I loved my roommate. I stayed in Deseret Towers on the third floor. I still remember it was old Deseret Towers. I think they've since redone them. I mean, obviously, it's like over 20 years. It's 25 years ago. Over that, 25 years ago. This is in like 1999 or something.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah. So, and I think Helaman Towers weren't even built yet, or Helaman, whatever they call them. They weren't even built yet, or they were in the process of being built, or something
So,
like that.
were you a believing Mormon at this time?
Actually, when I was 7, I didn't want to get baptized because I didn't believe Joseph Smith was a prophet. I didn't have a testimony, and
It sounds like you were born with an adult brain.
I was a little bit ahead of things academically and like things like that.
You were an old soul. Yeah,
I
I
guess
understand that.
that's what my grandmother used to call me.
Yeah, that's
But
incredible.
yeah, so I didn't want to get baptized, and it came up to like my birthday when I was like turning 8. And this is a really difficult story for me to tell.
Well, we
But
are
okay.
very supportive of anything that you have to say, and
Well,
we appreciate you sharing.
so when I told my parents I didn't want to get baptized because I didn't believe Joseph Smith was a prophet, and I was 7, and I was turning 8, and I had to get baptized because everybody gets baptized, right? It's like a scandal if you don't, right?
Yeah.
And so my parents said that I had to stay into my bedroom and fast and pray until I had a testimony that the church was true and that Joseph Smith was a prophet. So I fasted and I prayed, and had no food or water for 3 days. And then I finally was just so hungry that I decided to get baptized.
Wow.
So you were coerced into
I
getting
was starving.
baptized.
I was so hungry.
Holy smokes!
But
Well,
I
nothing
was also
salty about that.
7. Dude, I was 7, turning 8.
Oh man.
So it's a hard story to tell. And the reason it's a hard story to tell is because when I was that young, I didn't know that was called child abuse.
Yeah,
Sure.
we have no words for it when we're young.
Well, because
No
I didn't know that. And so when you ask about my journey of leaving the church, I didn't know that the church was abusive when I was a child and into my teenage years. I didn't know that until I was well out of the church. I left the church and I didn't even realize how abused I was until decades out of the church. You know what I mean?
Did
Until
therapy help
20
you
years
realize it?
out.
Did
I
therapy help you
still,
realize it?
yeah, I still look back on things and I'm like, damn, that was abusive. Like, you know what I mean? I still look
Oh,
back on
yeah.
that, and then I hear other people's stories too, and and I'm like, we all didn't know that we were being perpetually abused, and we were being perpetually shut up by our mothers and our fathers.
And
But we also
indoctrinated.
didn't know that they were simultaneously being abused by their church leaders as well. So,
It was
like,
spiritual
the
abuse.
cycle of abuse was, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It-
crazy.
that's no wonder that's difficult for you to tell, Bug, because that's exactly what it is child abuse.
They might
And
have been, my parents might have been told by their bishop to do that to me. I don't
well,
know.
that
Right.
wouldn't surprise me.
Right. So it might not be their fault. You know what I mean? Like, I might not be justified in being angry with them over that. You know what I mean?
So when you were
I
in Young
understand.
Women's as basically a sort of non-believer, did
Yeah.
you find ways to have community and to have shared experience with your fellow sisters in the gospel?
It was difficult for me to do that as well because that's when I actually really saw in my own eyes, I saw physical abuse happening in the church. Um, uh, there was a man, I'm not going to use any names, but it's the bishop's son. And it was during Mutual. Do you remember Mutual? I think they call it
Yep.
something different
Oh,
now.
yeah.
They call it
Yeah.
something different now.
Mutual, MIA,
Oh, it
Young
wasn't called
Men's,
MIA,
Women's.
I think. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was called Mutual, I guess, back
Yeah.
then. And they also had Young Men's. So we always had to bake cookies while they played basketball, basically. At
Right.
the same, it was Wednesday nights. Anyway, there was a gym, and then there's the gym rooms, like bathrooms or whatever. And I went into one of the bathrooms, and the bishop's son was uh sexually abusing one of the young men, like having sex with him, uh in the one of the showers area. And the young
what?
man that yeah, but the young man that he was abusing was mentally like slow, like mentally had difficulties. So he didn't understand what was happening to him, but all I know is he was crying and he was yelling stop. And
Oh, my
I
gosh.
walked in on this, and then I reported it to my family, to my mom and dad, and they said, "Well, he doesn't understand what he's doing. He didn't know he was hurting that boy. He didn't." And so what the church did, what the bishop did, was remove the kid who was being abused, remove his whole family to a different ward, and that was the solving of the problem.
Wow.
Swept under the rug.
Well, but that didn't mean that the guy who was abusing a kid wasn't abusing other kids. I don't know. And
Right.
so I remember I was 16. No, I was 15 because it was right before I went to BYU. And I was like, and I was crying in front of my parents, and I was like weeping. And I said, "This is wrong. This is wrong. This is not how, like, no cops were like, nothing has happened. Nothing. They're removing the abused person and not the abuser." And my parents are like, "God knows better than we do." And like things like that, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so
Yeah. And
of
this is
course,
an epidemic.
yeah, but this is not abnormal in our church.
No.
Well, sorry, it's not my
No.
church anymore, but you know what I mean?
Right. In the
Sure.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Right.
There's
So
a new
this is why I left. It's not just what happened to me. So when I was at BYU, of course I was raped, but like it's this is something I've seen before I was raped at BYU. You know what I mean? So
right. And
Bug, you
Bug,
sent me.
there's a channel called The Architecture of Abuse where they talk about, it has Alyssa Grenfell and some others, and they talk about how the structure of the church actually benefits abusers.
It does. It
And
does. It
so-
protects the abusers. I've read this, what you're talking about, and it does 100%. And
Yeah.
I've seen it. And then when I went to BYU, and I was a minor when I went to BYU, I was sexually assaulted.
Was it
And
in the guise of going on a date?
no, well, yeah, under the guise of like going to watch a movie and like, yeah. So yeah.
Bug,
So
you sent me an article that,
yeah.
and I was appalled when I read it. Would you be comfortable sharing that story with us?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll do for a little bit. I'm not going to go into grand detail.
No, just
Right. Just a lot of people have like called me a liar over it and stuff like that, but it was just kind of your basic like date rape, you know what I mean? Like, if you will, but it was violent. Every rape is violent. Rape is violence. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're beaten or bloody or not. It's still violence. Rape is violence. But yeah, I was raped at BYU, and charges were pressed, and so it was like a 2-year court process that I went through that turned out to be very public. I got bags, like big duffel mails of bags of hate mail from a lot of Mormons.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like saying like, he has a mother too. Like, how dare you put his name out there? Like, you know, what were you wearing was a lot of it. And then also I got a lot of copies of, what's that book? The,
Miracle of Forgiveness.
the Miracle of Forgiveness. My
Yeah.
own mother, and this is why I bring up the matriarch thing. My own mother gave me that book that year for Christmas. So I was raped in July 24th, Pioneer Day is when I was raped. A lot of crimes happened on that day. I was one of the writers for Under the Banner of Heaven that wrote about Pioneer Day. But anyway, a lot of violent crime happens on Pioneer Day among the Mormons. Just so you know, it's weird, but
And once again, which is so common, they're gaslighting the victim
yeah,
and trying to protect the perpetrator
like
and keep that priesthood holder's name sacred and
yeah.
holy, and
Well,
it was a
one
mistake.
one thing that's very interesting to me during sentencing, because he got sentenced pretty harshly compared to a lot of rapists. A lot of rapists get off with like 3 to 5 years. He got 2 terms of 15 years because it was pretty violent. But one thing that's very interesting to me during sentencing is that he stood up wearing his garments, and he said that he's wearing his temple garments because he knows that his Savior has forgiven him.
Oh, please do it in the name of heaven, right?
Yeah, that's what
And
he felt.
justified in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he dropped me off at the temple, the Provo temple. So after he was done. So for him, it was a very religious experience. But okay, so that's another thing that I wanted to talk about too, which is kind of like another whole tangent though, but I did want to bring it up, is that for Mormonism and other very strict religions and patriarchal religions specifically that you wanted to talk about, to them
Sure.
it's a very 24-hour kind of mentality where they're forgiven immediately if they just pray on it.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
they can drop off a woman that they just raped and beaten almost to death, right? They can drop her off at the temple, have her blood spilt on holy ground, and then pray on it, and they're immediately resolved of their crime. That's
So
why I believe that's
just
look
like
look
a-
just like the
a news cycle.
Lori Daybells, the Ruby Frankies, the Jody Hildebrands.
Right.
Think
Just like a
about it.
news cycle, there's a sin cycle. You commit
It's
a sin
24 hours
and you could repent of it in a day.
immediately. It's a 24-hour cycle in all evangelical religions as well. I'm not talking about just Mormonism. I'm talking about those types of patriarchal religions as well. Like, not even just patriarchal religions, just those types of religions that are really like high demand. I would call them cultish, but I'm not an expert in cults, so I don't know that I could ever, put that label on them because I'm not studied in that. But it's a 24-hour mentality. They sell it like it's a lifetime thought. Like, it's a lifetime. I'm going to devote my lifetime to this. But really, it's a blink and it's done. Like, oh, I beat my child. Oh, I pray to Jesus Christ and it's over now. You know what I mean? It's a 24-hour mentality.
Right?
Yeah,
Really.
and you say that you're not educated in cults, but let me tell you, according to the bite model of a cult, the LDS Church checks all the boxes. And did you ever enter into the temple by any chance?
I only did baptisms for the dead because I was raped so early that I didn't get my endowment because I didn't trust the church anymore.
Right.
Well, consider yourself fortunate as far as the temple experience, because I think that is the cultiest thing about the church.
I've
Is what
seen
they
things
do in
from
the
it, but
temple.
yeah. And then even things that like my dad has told me when I was growing up about the slitting of the neck thing and the debowelment and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's like why? Why does that need to be involved in anything that they call beautiful? Like, why is that called beautiful?
Yeah. Why did it take them so long to take it out and to change
Yeah.
things? And there's a lot of things like that. And Bug, we're so sorry that has happened to you.
Oh,
And
don't apologize to me. Apologize to the hundreds of thousands of women
right.
and men who
Well,
that's
it's
happened.
heartbreaking that it happened to you. And like Gene says, we're so sorry about that.
Right.
And through
Well,
all this,
there's a song I wrote that I maybe would like for you to look up.
okay.
Oh, okay.
It's called Freedom. And I write with a really talented man down in New Orleans. His name's John Batiste. And I would like you to look up this song.
It's one of my favorite songs.
You've heard it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then the choreography, I did the choreography as well. Because
Really?
yes, because when I think that I'm going to dance like a whore, that's how I'm going to dance. And when I feel that I'm going to free myself and give myself the permission to be free from the bondage of the church, this decades after leaving, that's how I'm going to dance and that's how I'm going to sing. And when I wrote that, that's how I was feeling. And that's the exact mood that I was feeling. And when he and I sat down together and we fleshed it out and we actually played it and we actually did it, and when we did the music video and everything, we did it in my neighborhood in New Orleans.
Do you mind if we play that, Bug?
You can play it right now, yeah. It's called Freedom.
So I'm actually going to do it without the words.
Yeah.
Because we'll get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, but you can play the joy of the music and the dancing.
Yeah, so let's see. I have to do this and then do that.
For was it Colbert?
Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess he advanced into going out on his own, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, he did. He went out on his own. His wife got real sick, is what happened. She got cancer, or brain cancer. She still has it. They're still fighting it, but
oh no.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. She's surviving.
So you have developed your talents to the point where this is now what you do for a living, and doing something that you probably
what once made me a whore and everything else in the Mormon church now makes me free.
Yeah, just so long as you don't drink a cup of coffee, I think you can go to heaven.
So yeah, I've
I
played that
love me
song.
some cappuccino, I'm telling you.
I
Oh
played that
yeah,
song
look, I'm
100
drinking
times.
mine.
I love me
Yeah,
some cappuccino, that's for sure. Let's see. Oh, I also love black tea. I
oh yeah.
enjoy that, especially when I'm sick. I feel like it makes me feel better.
Bug, I am a coffee whore.
I love coffee. Don't get me wrong. I think I have like 3 different ways to make coffee in my apartment in New York City right now.
I make my cold brew every.
No, cold brew
you
is
know,
the best. That's the
yeah,
most caffeinated.
and then I put peanut butter in it.
Oh, that
And
sounds good. I haven't even tried that.
oh yeah, and then I blend it up with vanilla and some sweetener. And let me tell you, it's enough to make your tongue slap your brains out of your head.
Well, that is next. That is
That's
next for me because I'm going to need it.
that's what I'm drinking right now. My
Heard that.
my recipe has become famous online for this peanut butter cold brewed coffee.
Well, that's good. I'm going to try it for sure.
Did you help John with I Need You?
Yes, I did all the choreography as well. Like it was really funny. They were like, they're like, we need you to do something. And I was like, well, I need you to do something because I'm gonna have people jump out ass forward out of the wall. And they're like, what? And I was like, no, you heard me right. Ass forward out of the wall.
There you go.
Those like ass first.
Great videos.
Yeah. So we won the Grammy for that too, for the music video.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I'm in awe that I'm talking to you now.
Yeah, so I've won a few Grammys, but not without the help of all my friends and people who are just as talented and wonderful. So
the sentence "ass forward out of the wall" has
outside.
Never been spoken.
We're gonna go ass forward out the wall. Is what we're gonna do. And John's like, yeah.
It's never been spoken on any podcast ever. So this is the first time you've heard the phrase "ass forward out of the wall."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how I think. So.
Yeah. So if we could get back to your story just for a little bit.
Yeah.
You had to go through all this legal stuff and you're going to BYU. Did you graduate from BYU?
No, I didn't actually because it was too much for me. So I just went ahead and left. But I ended up teaching all around the world. So I figured if I'm teaching at universities all around the world, like I taught at Yale, I taught at Harvard, I taught at, Columbia, I taught at USC, taught at everywhere. So I figured if I'm teaching everywhere, I don't think I need a degree. So I went ahead and went to New Orleans. I opened a few restaurants and bars. So yeah, I just.
What?
Yep.
You are a multi-talented.
Not really multi-talented. I mostly am really good at finding people who are talented and putting them on stage. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, that in and of itself is a great talent. But it sounds to me like your expertise is incredibly diverse, and
So you're an example of doing something is way more important than studying it or getting a piece of paper.
Oh no, I study like crazy. I study everything that I can. And I'm constantly learning.
Right.
But I think I'm a great example of where a woman shouldn't be stuck in relief society, or I'm a great example of where a 42-year-old woman shouldn't be tending a home. You know what I mean?
Doesn't have to be right.
I spoke about patriarchy in the church, and you had an interesting response in regards to matriarchy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And would you touch on that for us?
I'll touch on that a little bit more. I think I've already touched on it a bit, but I will touch on it more. A lot of the things, well, first of all, I'll touch on what I've experienced. I've experienced a lot of shaming from matriarchs or other women in general. My sisters have shamed me for not having children. My mother has disowned me, mostly because I left the church, and also not for having children. Mostly it's for not having children. And then also for the way I dress, the way that I speak, the way that I carry myself. And I feel that I'm a little bit tame compared to a lot of people that I've come across in my life. You know what I mean? I'm not really that flamboyant. I do kind of stay in the background, but my choreography is very,
Fast forward.
yeah.
Through a wall.
And, but anyway, I think what I have a problem with a lot of women in the history and also in the present is that women, and I think this has also been ignored when people have church discussions, women have created serial killers more than men have, psychologically. Women have deeply, poignantly hurt both men and women, more than men have. In when you look at true crime and criminal cases,
So did you
and
see the series Mindhunter then?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that is an example. There's lots of mothers that shame their children, their boys,
Into the serial criminal
into
things.
being. I
Well,
never
I
thought
just
of that actually before.
yeah, I just finished writing the new monster thing. Well, I didn't just finish it. We finished writing over a year ago, but the new Ed Gein one, and then you know what I mean, and it's very matriarchal. Dahmer as well. I wrote on that. I mean, like, I also wrote on the Menendez brothers one, and it's well, that one's very patriarchal. But the matriarch has a hand in it as well because she ignores it. She sees it
Right.
and she
Allows
fucking
it.
ignores it. So
Empowers it.
yeah, she empowers it. Yeah, by ignoring it. And so you know, I feel that needs to be more explored in the Mormon true crime podcasts and stuff like that. I feel like they need to look at that. But I think that they're trying to, in looking at the Lori Daybell, the Ruby Frankie, the Jody Hildebrand, and like all those, you know, they're trying to look at that. But those are so blatant. But I think they need to go back and look more at the less blatant, the enablers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The behind the scenes matriarch, like women who are enabling the men to torture their children and their sons. Like that needs to be looked at.
But I want you to know, I went on a double date with Lori Daybell.
No, you did not.
I did.
Oh.
Her brother Alex Cox
Oh.
was a good friend of mine.
Really?
Of course, yeah, coworker, and we became good friends. He was a stand-up comedian, and let me tell you, that's the last thing I ever suspected was that things would end up how they did.
Well,
But,
I'm
yeah,
sure because I'm sure.
Yeah, he invited me and my wife at the time, my late wife. He invited us to a comedy show that he was doing, and
Oh my goodness.
said that his sister was in town, Lori, and so we'd have a double date.
Oh my goodness.
And Randy has done a whole podcast with a sort of a true crime channel that is run by Megan Connor. She started off as something else, but because her cousin was Lori Vallow.
I think, yeah, I've heard of Megan Connor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'm thinking that we should get you and Megan together because I think you guys could do a show about what you're talking about.
Well, I think so too because I've listened to some, like, just a few things of her stuff. I didn't have time because I was in the middle of writing Monster.
Sure.
But yeah. But another thing I wanted to bring up too is and I know you're probably going to edit this out, but like some of the stuff that needs to be brought up too is the shame that women are bringing on their children about being gay and trans.
Oh, of course we won't edit that out. This is
Okay.
this is all
Necessary.
true. We're not. We listen. We don't sugarcoat anything on this show.
Okay.
We tell it like it is. I'm a big supporter of the Pride movement. I have 4 kids. 2 of them are gay,
Oh,
and
okay.
one of them is in the entertainment business there in Hollywood. And
Oh,
that's
okay. So the other side of the country than me, but yeah.
right. Yeah,
We
exactly.
still work together basically. But I mean really.
I'm sure
But,
your paths have crossed. I have
oh,
no
I'm
doubt.
sure, yeah. Any award show we get. Yeah. But there's a moment that that I had that was very poignant, and it's when we were writing music, and uh John and I were writing, and we came across the song, and this was before it became popular, and it was called Pink Pony Club.
Sure.
And it was
Yeah.
before it was on the radio, and we were just like, oh my God. And if you were to actually slow it down and just really rip it down to like just piano and vocal, it tells the story of a goddamn Mormon missionary, really.
Wow.
Really?
If you look at it really closely, just strip it down to just the piano and vocals, just really strip it down. And you're just like, Mama back in Tennessee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where like he goes off on this journey and finds himself, herself.
Right.
So I don't
Wow.
know. It's something I wanted to bring up, but I also wanted to bring that up with the disowning portion of that too, because that's very normal in the Mormon church to be disowned. And I would like to see and maybe donate money to a program of some sort, if it does exist, or maybe it should exist, toward young people who have left the church or are trying to leave the church, who are actively being disowned right now or have been and need assistance in that. Because I know
And
what it's
there's
like, because I have been disowned and it was very difficult. I'm telling you, I had to sleep in my car sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
you mentioned gay and trans, and
yep.
that's another reason why so many uh, youth are disowned by their families because
Mhm.
of their sexual preference.
Yes.
What the hell is that? How does that even happen? And it's obviously because the church has been so prejudiced against that, and it's so many kids have committed suicide
I know.
because of being rejected, and I'm I'm appalled at that. So I'm very strong. I have very strong feelings about
Well, I
pride,
do
and
too. And then also the new president of the church evidently is not very kind towards that community.
That's right. Dallin hoax.
I tried to get Gene to become prophet of the church,
Oh, okay.
I'm
and I
waiting
know
for the right
everyone
time.
wanted him to be, but for some reason he didn't feel like it was time yet.
Wasn't
Oh,
the
okay.
time to move
Well,
in.
I don't think you're in your 90s yet, so I don't think you
There's
should
that.
go for it till you're
And
quite.
also, Dallin needs to bring the church down a couple of notches before people can see that they need something to happen.
Well, it's better
Yes.
than what's his name, Bednar? Is that his name?
David Bednar.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a fucking disaster fee.
And
Yeah,
David
right.
Bednar grew up 4 miles from my house and grew up in my stake. And there's some people, there's some stories of him when he was an older teenager graduating from high school, just before his mission. They would go golfing with him. And when he make a bad shot, he would swear like a sailor. But
Oh well, I wouldn't doubt that.
then I was told not to tell that story. So everybody remember that you didn't hear it from me.
Oh well, I don't remember a thing. Nor do I see a thing.
That's right.
Yeah. So Gene's going to replace Dallin Hoax, and I'm going to replace the president of our United States.
Oh,
I won't even grace this podcast with his name.
I've heard him being referred to as the Cheeto in chief.
yeah, I had
Right.
well, okay. Well, most people say I had the opportunity to shake his hand, and I accidentally sneezed instead.
I hope if you touched him, you washed
I
your
didn't touch
hands
him. I will
thoroughly.
not touch that man. No.
So you sneezed on purpose accidentally so that he wouldn't want to touch your hand as well?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Very
Because
clever.
I wouldn't touch him, but I wanted it to be like a way that he wouldn't
Had
touch
an out.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
That was so kind of you to give him an out.
There's
Yeah.
some great shorts coming out of this video. I got to tell you.
So, Bug, you said that you taught lots of different places.
Yes.
And then after you taught, you were teaching dancing.
Yes. Mostly dancing and music. Yeah.
And then how many years ago did you decide to sort of settle into the Southeast, the New
Oh,
Orleans?
no.
Or
So I got so when I was in New Orleans, well, so I still was traveling a lot. I still have been traveling, and I shouldn't be. But I sort of tried to settle, and I'm working for an emergency department at a hospital, which is ridiculous. But evidently, I just had to pass a few tests, and I passed them. So anyway, but
you're
yeah,
like a triage nurse or helper?
Nope. I'm not a nurse at all. What I do is identify bodies.
Wait, you what?
Identify bodies. So,
you identify them.
Yes, well, because I use so I have a
John and
minor.
Jane
So I have a
Doe's come
minor
in.
from BYU in genealogy. Number one, and number two, I'm just so used to trauma that I don't mind, seeing a body that is pretty grotesquely broken and beaten. And so all I do is I just petition to get a warrant to get a fingerprint or a blood sample, but you have to get a warrant, so
Right.
I petition for all that and get
They're
that.
not going to
And
complain.
well, they're not,
body.
but the family
So
might.
you identify John Doe's and Jane Doe's?
Yes.
That is amazing.
Not really. There's a lot of people, like, there are unidentified bodies that come into hospitals all the time for traumas
Right.
and stuff.
So, I mean,
Is
you
this-
work for like the region for different hospitals or just one?
No, just one. Yep. And then also when people are identified, I still, like, when they come in through the trauma bay, so I work with police and firemen and stuff like that. We just get them in and stuff like that. I'm not a nurse or anything, so I don't care for the patient at all.
5 years ago, there was a series called The Genetic Detective. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
On ABC. It was during COVID summer.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that at all. Yeah.
Using genetics to identify, cold case solving.
Oh,
cold
yeah, they do that a lot now. Yeah.
And
But
so-
yeah, you actually need like solid warrants and stuff though to like do that
Right.
stuff.
So
Like
you
people
should
are like,
write a
we just hung out
series.
we just hung out by a trash can. I'm like, no, you didn't.
You need to write a series about your job.
Yeah, well, maybe, but like, it's not going to be that fun because it's mostly like, and then we waited 2 months for a goddamn warrant.
That's right. Yeah, you can't do it like 24 hours.
No, we have to do it real fast because there's usually family members that try and come and they follow the ambulance and stuff, and we just got to make sure the body matches the family and stuff like that.
Randy's
Bug,
been
is this
around a
something
lot of
that-
corpses as well.
Huh?
Yes, I have. Is this something you do full time?
Yeah, unless I'm traveling to do music.
Wow. Yeah, I worked in the funeral industry for a while, and I get what you're saying about broken bodies and having to have the identification because we can't even take them in if we don't know who they are.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like as easy as people think. It's not like
Right.
You have to do the right protocols and stuff like that. So I work mostly with police and firemen. You know what I mean?
So can I ask, how did you get involved with the incredible artists that you work with?
I just knew them. I just mostly I think I went out and saw them when I was dancing and they saw me dancing and then we just sort of introduced ourselves.
Sure.
So Seth
So-
Meyers, what did you do for his show?
Oh, writing.
Oh, writing. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how I met him was through SNL.
Well, really?
Yeah.
You wrote for SNL?
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Uh-huh.
So I was, but it was just some funny shit. But so mostly what I did for that do you know that they do the musical shorts?
Right.
So the music video
Like
type
Chick
things.
in a Box.
Yeah, that type of thing. I didn't
Yeah.
write that one. I did
No.
not write that one. But I did win my first Emmy off of Comeback Barack, which was in the 90s. So I was
Oh,
like,
no kidding.
Comeback Barack was actually not. Yeah, that was my first Emmy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
really
cool.
incredible.
So
Not
then
really, because like at the time, like lighting all those candles. I don't know if you've seen the video, but lighting all those candles was not fun.
If it was on SNL, I've seen the video.
It was on
Because
SNL. Yeah, it's
I've
called
not
Comeback Barack.
missed. Yeah,
So-
I remember the name actually, I think.
so
But
yeah, if you didn't have talent, would they still hang out with you?
I don't actually. I think they probably would, just because like I'm just stupid in enough ways.
who doesn't love Bug, right?
Right.
To know her is to love her.
No, I think I don't think that's it.
You're the bug
Well-
that doesn't bug too much.
Well, no, I'm the one that gets in the way.
Well, it sounds to me like you have had and still are having an incredible life, and it takes a great deal of intelligence, starting as young as you started, to make decisions that will impact your whole life. And like I said, it sounds to me like you're an old soul, and you
Here's
know,
the advice that I would give to every single woman in the LDS church:
Yeah.
be that whore.
right? Yeah.
So I did a
Um,
show called Ho Phase,
Okay.
where a former Mormon missionary lady decided that she would quit the church and have a hoe phase, and then she wrote a play, let's see, a short movie. What do you call that? A script?
That would be like just a digital short or just a short or whatever.
Yeah, and so she's going to develop into a whole movie someday. She did a sort of like
Mhm.
a
it was
proof of concept.
Caitlin. Was it
Yeah.
Caitlin that wrote that? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember, but
I-
so yeah, so we've had hoes on our show.
Hoes.
We are
We-
hoe
I want to meet
positive.
all your hoes.
We are
we
hoe
love
positive.
hose.
Yeah.
We're a hose lover.
Yeah, there you go.
Get your hoe on.
Get
to
your
be a
hoe on.
podcast.
Be that whore. That's all I
Us-
say. Be that
yeah,
hoe.
be that.
Be that hoe. Write that script. Write that script for real.
Yeah.
Write that book.
Yeah.
Honestly, write that book, because we need more books from Mormon men and women, like ex-mos especially. We need that book from everyone.
Yeah.
We need that script from everyone, because we need to expose the
That's
cruelty. But you know what? We also need to expose how they wrap it in love, bruh. Like, oh, it's so frustrating. You know what I mean?
But yeah, so more books like that need to be written, right?
I think everybody needs to write their story. Everybody needs to tell their truth, and everybody needs to feel supported throughout this process, because it is a process. And what people need to know is, like, my process has been since I was raped in 2000. I mean, like, well, since before then, since I was starved when I was a 7-year-old kid because I didn't want to get baptized. You know?
Are some of your stories in floodlit.org?
No, most of my stories are in my shows that I wrote and that are on TV.
Okay.
Most of my stories are in those, like, weaved, like, you know what I mean, weaved in and out those. And what I want to tell everybody though is that your stories are valid, and you need to feel valid in writing them and putting them. What I would say is don't put them online without a copyright though, because they'll either get shut down by the church or they'll get sued. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be careful about that.
Right.
Well, your message is incredibly valuable to everyone who's listening, and I want you to know how much I admire what you have done and what you're doing and the message that you're spreading. And I hope you write a book one day, because I'll be the first in line to get it.
My book has been written, and if you want to see the beginning of it, you can watch Napoleon Dynamite.
Well, I have watched Napoleon Dynamite.
Last year was the 20th anniversary of Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Gosh,
That's how old I am. Jesus Christ. You're making me so old.
you know what's funny? You said,
Did you have part of the script?
Yes.
That is awesome.
Okay.
Were you the girl that
for
was
Pedro.
trying to sell?
What was it? No. The only physical thing. So yeah, I did some writing credits and I did a lot of the scenery and stuff. But like the only physical part of my body that you see on screen is the plates in the credits when I put the plate out.
You're doing the plate. You're
Yeah.
handing the plates back and forth.
So that's the only.
Those are some of my
Otherwise,
favorite.
it's just writing and background stuff. Otherwise, just writing and
Titles.
production values. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all. But if you want to see my hand, I put the plate out with the tater tots and like I make the credits and all that.
That is awesome.
Napoleon.
It's not really that.
Napoleon used to be my son's neighbor. When he was living in Studio City. He lives in Burbank now, but yeah. What Peter?
Small world,
Peter
bruh. What small world. Also, the Joseph Smith movie that used to play on Temple Square. The Erie Canal. You're welcome.
Are you handing out plates there too?
No, I designed it, like drafted it and designed it, and then they built it to my fucking design.
Because you were inspired.
Nice. Yeah,
you're welcome. You're welcome. Just so you know, you're welcome, and all your spiritual, everything that came from it, you're welcome. What was that, like 25 years ago?
So
amazing.
You got yourself out there, Bug.
Yeah, I really put myself out there for that. Yeah.
I have a pretty good idea that we haven't heard 1/10 of your life and your stories, but we'll call it good for now.
I just think it's hilarious. Yeah, a lot of Mormon movies I worked on but way back, like 20, 25 years ago.
That's right. Amazing. So,
you said at the beginning of the show that you said, now I'm old, obviously. I'm 40, in my 40s.
42, almost 43.
And I'm thinking that is far from obvious, because you don't even begin to look like you're in your 40s. You look like you're still in college. I have
a secret.
Oh, do tell.
Soap and water and cat fuzz.
Love animals, right?
Yeah. Love animals. And
does
soap and
Chihuahua
water.
hair work?
Chihuahua hair works perfectly. Any animal hair works perfectly.
Because I've got my Chihuahua sitting on my lap as I do every.
It's a perfect exfoliant.
Oh, nice. You heard it here, folks. That's the secret. Get a cat or a dog.
Cat or a dog. Exactly.
We can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on, Bug. I know your schedule is crazy. So thank you for getting back in touch with me and scheduling this. And we probably should not go too much longer here. But Gene, did you have anything else you wanted to say to Brock?
Just that I am in heaven right now, just knowing all the different things that you've had a hand in.
I said Brock, I meant Bug.
Yeah, Bug.
Brock Bugway.
Brock Bugway, that works. My father went by Brock, so that works either.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I shared John Batiste's
Freedom
videos before Freedom, the other one first, the butts coming out of the wall. Ass
first. The ass is coming out of the wall.
And then
and then we just came out with a new album on August 23rd. So
Yeah.
What is this monster that you have mentioned a few times?
Oh, so I work on the Monster series. So yeah, so we have Dahmer, the Menendez brothers, and now we just came out with Ed Gein.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So the Monster, it's on Netflix.
Right.
Yeah, but also Under the Banner of Heaven is probably the one that I'm most proud of. That's on Hulu.
You worked on the Under the Banner of Heaven?
Yeah. It's one I'm probably most proud of. But also, I got a lot of death threats over it. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
really weird how people want to kill you over like, and they call themselves religious. It's really weird.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not really
Jesus
religious.
has told me
I
to
don't
kill
know. It's
so
like,
many different people I can't count.
it's crazy because I'm like, wow, okay. I don't think Jesus would want to kill people over a fucking TV show, but okay. You know. But yeah, I've worked under a number of things. I've done
Did
a
you work
lot of
with
projects.
Lindsay Hansen Park a little bit?
What is it?
Lindsay Hansen Park?
Yeah. A
Okay.
little bit, but a little bit separated as well.
Sure.
We have different departments,
roles.
but I do
Right.
know. Yeah. Mostly I work for the networks, the TV. So CBS, NBC. So I work Colbert. I work with Seth Meyers. I work with SNL as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
And I make fun of Mormons all the time. It just people just don't seem to understand that it's a Mormon joke because
Right.
they don't understand Mormonism. Because really, not a lot of people do in this world do understand Mormon jokes. Even Mormons don't understand Mormon jokes
We
sometimes.
should do a top 10 Mormon jokes on TV today
On
that nobody
SNL, yeah.
that nobody understands, or that Mormons don't understand.
Yeah, because I've thrown out some like pretty badass like SNL Mormon jokes, and I'm like, nobody in the church noticed, and I'm like, goddamn.
That's
Did you
hilarious.
see the Simpsons Mormon
Oh yeah,
issue?
where you're like, you're
or
wrong. It's
episode?
all the Mormons. They're right.
Yeah.
Everybody else is yeah.
Dum 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 dum. Yeah.
Dum 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 dum. Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah.
You know, when Mitt Romney
Yeah.
ran for president, they called it the Mormon moment. That was in
Oh
2012.
God, I know.
But the last 5 years has been the Mormon millennium. Everything's been Mormon, and it'll be Mormon for another 1,000 years, I predict.
Oh, I know.
900,
Well, and then the recent
95.
shooting, everyone has been coming up to me. They're like, "Tell me everything you know about Mormonism," and I was like, dude, you do not have the enough hours in the day for me to tell you everything that I know about Mormonism.
There you go.
Yeah. So the simple
Because
answer is
I work in the
stay away.
same building as news stations. So like,
Right.
I can't
That's
tell
right.
you everything that I know. I can hand you books. You can read.
Or
Right.
or you can just tell them to run. Run.
Or I could just tell you to just not worry about Mormonism.
Yeah.
They're
right.
already involved in politics. Don't worry about it. If you missed it by now, if you didn't realize it by now, like,
Right.
sorry, but if you didn't already know,
Yeah. No kidding.
I can't catch you up at this point.
We appreciate any of you that are watching the show, and thank you for supporting Momo Nomo and Latter Daily Digest. And Bug, a special thanks to you. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll sign off and wish you your continued success.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye.
We'll see y'all later. Love y'all.